Hello everyone, and you're all very welcome to today's Virtual Open Day. I'm joined by Dr. Alex Tierney and Cal Gray. I'm Caroline, who is the Membership Manager here at the Digital Marketing Institute, and I'm going to be facilitating today's session. So given the current landscape and the pandemic situation, obviously we're all coming to you from our own homes. So please forgive us if we do happen to have any Wi-Fi or connectivity issues or audio issues, but we'll try to make sure it's as clear as possible throughout. So we have hundreds of people online with us today and coming from lots of different geographies. So what we'd love to do is for you to pop your name into the question bank at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, and we'll give you a shout out. Today, Alex and Cal are going to be giving us a virtual tour of our programs, our membership platform, and our community. And they're going to be giving you a virtual tour of all those different aspects, so you get a good experience of what life and your learning experience with DMI would be like. So Cal will be covering our DMI Pro program, but he'll also be touching on our DMI Expert program today as well. In terms of our Q&A today, they're always really popular. So we are going to have a dedicated Q&A section just at the tail end of this webinar. Don't keep all your questions to the end because we want to try and get through as many as possible. And the guys here are looking forward to a really interactive session. So use that same question bank to pop in as many questions as you want answered. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over to Cal and disappear. Alex is going to disappear off screen as well and come back and enjoy a fantastic session today. Look forward to hearing your comments and feedback. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Caroline. Hi, my name is Cal. Welcome to my kitchen. As Caroline already said, my job title here is Digital Transformation Advisor. Myself and my team exist in the Institute really to have human conversations with people who pass through the website, who consider a number of courses or different training options, in the hopes of ensuring that whatever program or whatever training you're looking for is provided in that course. For the sake of this open day, I thought we'd go through some of the professional sports available to you, the things available as a registered student and actually what you get upon enrollment, but also our flagship program, the DMI Pro, also called the Professional Diploma in Digital Marketing. We may as well jump straight into it. I'm going to change away from this lovely picture of Alex and I's faces. Now, this is the membership library. If anything, consider this to be the homepage for the program. It's the kind of the launch point for lots of different types of content. Across the top, I have courses, fairly self-explanatory. That's where we'll be going in a minute. I have library, which is a massive bookshelf of just everything that we have for you to read or watch or to do in terms of activities. I have events. We do host live events, we have webinars, we have lots of different options for that. CPD, you can actually track your professional development through this library. And then Dr. Alex is going to go through community, skills test, and also support. Full disclosure, I have preloaded some of these tabs you can see across the top to save us loading times. I am working from home and don't necessarily trust my internet for load times. So I'll go to courses, or at least I'll pretend to click here. I'll open up this page. In courses, I have a number of different options. So first of all, the Certified Digital Marketing Professional version 7.0. That's a former version of the program. I did that in 2018. Below that, I have the Specialist Diploma in Social Media Marketing. I'm doing that as nothing more than a side project at the moment. You'll see it's on 1% completion. And then below that, I have the Certified Digital Marketing Professional, or DMI Pro, or Professional Diploma in Digital Marketing version 8.0, which is the most up-to-date version of the course. This is our flagship program. This is one of the most widely taken, fully accredited digital marketing courses in the world. We've had roughly 60,000 people pass through the Institute in different forms, and this is the course that nearly everyone leans towards. I'm going to say maybe 80% of the people who've come through the Institute. The idea of this program, hopefully I'm going to do it justice in a minute, it level sets competence across lots of different fields. We've specifically designed this for someone to be comfortable and confident in all different channels of digital, be that an individual coming through here who might want to work in digital marketing, they might be in a marketing role already and actually need confidence for the online side of their job, or a larger multinational, a big company who want to level set the competence across 1,000 employees at a time or a couple of hundred employees at a time. This is typically the program that most people go for. Again, hopefully show you why in a minute. If you did feel that you do have a good, let's say base level or even just a good set of skills for digital marketing, we do offer a more advanced program, the DMI Expert or the postgraduate diploma, which Dr. Alex is one of the academic supervisors for. That's a longer course. It's more detailed. If you give us more time, we can train you to a higher level. But as I said at the start, myself and my team exist to have that conversation with you about what level of training or just what course would be most beneficial for what you want to achieve. I have two options here. I can go to resume course. The system is intelligent enough to remember what activity I was doing or what video I was watching last. I could jump straight back to that. Or I can go to all modules, which will bring me to a home page for the course, if you like. So I'll again pretend to click here. Ta-da! Couple of options across the top. I have assignments. Assignments not relevant for the DMI Pro. It's an exam-based final grade, if you like. Then I have your class forum. I can network with everyone who's studying at the same time as me if I want to. And then I have course info. Course info at the top right here, that's a really good place to start. I'd usually actually encourage someone quite proactively to start there. It lays out all the facts about the course, just really good things to know before you even begin. Just kind of start you off on a good foot, if you like. Below that, I have my overall progress. I'm literally a quarter of the way through the program. I'm 25% complete. And below that, I have the modules. The ones that are shaded out, I've done, they're on 100% completion. I've done the introduction to digital marketing. I've done content marketing. I'm now on to social media marketing. The main benefit, I think I said it, about this course is it's very well rounded. We've actively and quite conscientiously designed it to have as much training for social media as would PPC. You can go into your job and run analytics campaigns as well as optimize the website. We have almost 3 hours of training in email marketing as well as digital strategy and how your activities actually build into the overall plan of the company. You know, the idea is there's nothing you could be asked to do in your job upon completion that you wouldn't be comfortable doing. If you're a small business owner and you want to try all of these channels, this is formal, competent training for all of those channels. So, you know, you build confidence before you even go in and do it. We may as well pick up where I left off. We'll again pretend to click on social media marketing. Ta-da, yes, I am still here. And we'll scroll to the top. So this is the social media marketing module. This is what you would see if you click through the page or actually began the module itself. At the top, I have the video box. This is Kristen Shine, the lecturer in this particular module. Video box is fairly self-explanatory. Below that, where we might start, I have a little bit more information about the module itself. Social media marketing, the overall time is 3 hours and 9 minutes. There's a blurb about the module, what you're going to learn, kind of the learning outcomes, and even just how we're going to get to that point. Below that, I have resources. Resources are probably more beneficial in the long term. If you like, they would include the module slides, so the slide deck of everything that Kristen is going through in the lecture. You can keep that forever. It's downloadable as a PDF. That's yours. There's a transcript of everything that the lecturer is saying. You can have it word for word. If you want to download that and read it while you're offline, you might be on the commute with no internet access or wherever you see fit, you can keep that as a PDF. And then below that, I have practical exercises solutions. We're going to go through practical exercises in a minute. We'll leave that till later. Then I have a quick piece about the skills expert, Kristen Shine. I've already mentioned her. She is one of the leading social media consultants in the UK. I know for a fact she went to Princeton over in the US and she's run her own consultancy now for about 8 years. She is more than qualified to teach this. She's building campaigns as we speak. And then I have bonus content. Bonus content it's not obligatory, it's entirely optional. It is in itself bonus content, but we would always encourage someone to do this on top of your studies to get the most from it. There's lots of things here that link back to that membership library we started with. So for example, there's a video with Brian Lavery on how AccuWeather uses social media. There's a toolkit, a digital media plan template, really useful. Again, download it, keep it forever as a PDF. Ebooks, case studies, further toolkits, a further presentation, a longer video on building your social media following, and then a very useful checklist on managing your online reputation. Again, entirely optional. You don't have to do this, but it's a really good thing to do to keep your learning going past even just the learning in the course. To the right then, I have the topics list. Again, does what it says in the tin. The learning topics, the headings, whatever you want to call them, the subjects, they're all laid out on the right. And you can see them broken down into smaller sections. So under key social platforms for digital marketing, I have a number of shorter videos, kind of bite size, and also that realistic expectation for the time that video lasts or the duration of the content. I would use that to say, yes, there's this much training towards this, there's this much training towards that, but it might be more a case of actually planning your study. If you're, as I said, on the commute and you've got a couple of minutes before your stop, you could get through the next video, you could learn something in a couple of minutes. If you're like me and you study in the evenings and you want to do something before you go to bed, you could look at the overall subject and say, okay, there's maybe 20 minutes left before I finish growing and engaging an audience using Twitter and LinkedIn, for example. We'll go back to the top. Hit play on Kristen. Now, this is the first of our learning models. God, I hope she plays. There she goes. This is explanation. So Kristen is going to walk through everything that she does on a day-to-day basis. She's going to tell you what best practice is for social media. She's going to go through what we would like to teach you for social media to get you to an end level of competence. One of the main benefits of this ahead of classroom training, we are using someone who is more than qualified to teach this. We're using someone who runs a consultancy, who is very successful in social media. She doesn't have to dedicate her entire week to teaching and move away from marketing because she's pre-recorded the lecture. If anything changes, if best practice for Twitter changes, we'll delete this module or this lecture or this specific video. We'll fly Kristen again and we'll re-record it with more relevant information. So it's a much more agile, much more flexible, more relevant, I suppose, way to teach digital marketing. You can also rewind this if you like. You can fast forward it. You can go through it at your own pace. I find if the doorbell rings or if your phone rings or if you've just got something to do, pause it, come back to it an hour later. It'll still be there for you. The pace at which you study this material is entirely up to you. If you want to watch this video 100 times, that's entirely your own decision. It's not like university where you have to rely on your notes and go back over what you took down during the lecture and hope it rings a bell. This stuff, you can just keep going and over it until you feel the information is actually sunk in. To the right, I have closed captioning. I've already turned that on. I find that useful. That is word for word everything that Kristen is saying. A lot of people find it useful to read as they're listening. I actually find it helps the information sink in for me. Some people might be different. We've also designed it for people whose first language isn't English. If you want to go through it more slowly and read as Kristen is speaking, absolutely fine. We've built that into the courses. I have smaller settings here. I can change the quality. If my internet isn't great, I can change the video quality down. I can also change the speed if I want Kristen to just speak a bit more quickly. And I can put it in full screen too, which I won't. Then below that, that's our first learning model. That's explanation. That's Kristen telling you what best practice is and talking to camera. We also have demonstration. Scroll a bit further down, let's go to module section 5.3. I have walkthrough. We have over 100 of these walkthroughs across our diploma programs. They're a really useful tool for getting just a better understanding of what the lecturer is talking about. So in this case, let's hope play works for me. It's a screen recording of Facebook Ads Manager. One of our subject matter experts is going to go through tying, in this case, tying a Facebook campaign to an Instagram campaign and how that actually works. We're going to go through every single thing they click. We're going to go through the whole page. We have step-by-step process of reaching an end goal. In this case, it's Colm Lynn going through Facebook Ads Manager for a private business. If you wanted to, I don't know, have this open beside your own Facebook Ads Manager as you're building your own ads, obviously that's perfectly fine. If you find it's a more beneficial way if you get an idea of what the job looks like before you go and do it, totally fine as well. Same idea, you can click through these walkthroughs, you can rewind them, you can watch them 100 times, that's entirely up to you. This one is 16 minutes long, so I won't go through it in its entirety, but you get the idea. It is a screen recording in itself, and it's a demonstration of what they're talking about. Below that, if I scroll quite a bit down, I think third learning style, which is simulation, is probably the most beneficial people who are in this line of work, people who do this on a day-to-day basis. In all of our modules, we have practical exercises. We have, no, I don't want to continue. We have a quite significant sum of money and time invested in the practicalities of this platform. There are so many people, institutes, colleges, whatever they want to be, teaching what is digital marketing, teaching you the theory behind it and kind of how it's affecting the digital landscape. But we've put quite a significant investment into teaching you how to do it, into teaching you actually how to go into your work or into your job or do it for your own business and making it as real as is humanly possible. You'll see at the bottom here, that is number 7. The only part after that is bonus content, which we've talked about. I'm always kind of keen to stress that that simulation or that equivalent we've given you for social media marketing, we have just as much training for SEO. You know, we've as much training for PPC, there's display training, there's email training. You have analytics with Google Analytics. Google have built that for us because we have a very good partnership with them. And we've gone through some digital marketing strategy on the program too, so you can figure out how your activities tie into the wider plan for the company. If you are this decision maker within the course or your decision maker within your own organization, that will actually tell you how to build the strategy and what you should be building into it. So we do like to think the person who finishes this is very well rounded. You know, I keep saying it, but I want to stress the point that there's nothing really you could be asked to do in your job that you haven't got formal training in after this course. There's nothing that you could try to do for your own business that you aren't comfortable doing because you simulated it, it was explained to you, and you also saw a good demonstration of it through the course. It's not the only thing you get though. I'm always kind of keen to stress as well that it's probably maybe 50, 60% of the content you're actually given upon enrollment with the Digital Marketing Institute. If we go back to library here, which is where we started, we can actually see the rest of that percentage. Lots of really useful things here. We have over 500 pieces of additional content at this point to keep your learning going long after the course itself. I have some quick access. The minute I sign in, I'm given some options. I can do the news and review about the digital landscape, how to do a successful interview online. I would like to think all interviews are being conducted online with everything going on in the world. Handbook for social media managers, spring membership update, 3 tips to make your virtual event a success. I like to think we're doing that now as well. And then some more stuff. Social media, quite prevalent here at the top. Social media hugely relevant in the world, especially with everyone being a bit more distant, and a 2020 campaign calendar. Below that, then I have some quick access. If there's a specific topic I want to navigate to, I have articles, I have case studies. The learning styles on the course, or even just through the library more so, it's not necessarily a strict regime. We don't give you a step-by-step. We're not as numerical with them. We would let you filter what you want to learn at a certain time, and we also filter it by how long you have to study. So if you want to go through something specific, you can go to topics at the top here. If you have, let's say you're doing quite a lot of PPC through your own business, or you want to read a bit more about the changes in SEO algorithms, navigate to our search marketing content, go through a huge wealth of information about search marketing. If you want to go start earning a bit of money through your website, there's e-commerce, there's analytics. We have some really good stuff in your career as well. That could be CV templates, it could be like job expectations, like salary expectations in different lines of work, but that's more for growing your career more than anything else. And then if you want to filter by time, as I said, you have content types. If you have 10, 15 minutes, if you're on the commute, you have a couple of minutes before your stop comes up, you could read an article, you could read an ebook, you could read a case study about a business in a similar line of work as yours. But if you have a bit longer, I might see if this will load for me. We do have short courses as well. Now, for the majority, these are completely free of charge. These are just additional training through the membership portal. They're a really good way to build your CV, or even just build you as a professional. The first one's actually a very good example of that. Graphic Design Essentials, a DMI short course in conjunction with HubSpot. HubSpot have built that for our members. It's about 6 hours long. It goes through the fundamentals of digital marketing, and there's absolutely no charge to do it. These tend to be in an area that is marketing related, maybe not specifically marketing, to just give you more skills and give you things you could put in your CV, or even just things you can do on a day-to-day basis. There is UX Essentials, there's CX Essentials, there's a short course in content marketing, which maybe goes a bit further than the content marketing training in the DMI Pro. Beginners analytics and then advanced analytics. I'd recommend doing them in that order. And then lots of smaller things like our CPD partner program for inbound certification from HubSpot. We partner very closely with those big companies. We have a very good relationship with them. So they'll build additional content that we're adding nearly on a weekly basis to keep you growing, to keep you going long after your direct training in the DMI Pro finishes. It's worth stressing though, I've gone through all the professional supports, all the professional growth opportunities. You're not in any way limited to professional support or professional growth. You do have quite a lot of academic support. We'd like to state that we have the same academic student experience as any college or any university, but I'm not the best versed to talk about that, so I might try and hand over to my colleague and she can run you through some of the more academic elements of the program. Now, let's see if this technical element is going to work for us. Are you still there, Doctor?
I'm here. I'm on camera now. Hi, everyone.
Change presenter.
We're just going to change over our screens here.
Pick that's worked.
Yeah. Give it a sec.
Ta-da!
Cal, can you see my screen, Cal?
Yeah, and I'm going to disappear as well so people aren't still looking at my mug. 1 second.
There we go. Great. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much, Cal, for walking through that program there. I am going to show you our support system. So I think it's worth mentioning that, as Cal pointed out, if you're studying digital marketing, the best place to go to study it is to go digital. So our course is completely online, and as such, we've created a support system across the platform, as Cal said, to make sure that your learning journey is streamlined, your learning is a priority. The last thing you want to deal with is tech problems or getting confused on the platform. So we've ensured that there's tons of information for you, and it's easily accessible. So let's have a look. we have quite a holistic approach to support. So we have an academic support, as Cal spoke about. We have administrative support, and then we also have a community forum, which allows for peer support and lots of great networking opportunity. So the first place to check, let's look at this built-in support that you have for you along the way, 24/7. You can access this course anytime of day. So we're going to go to the course info page at the top here. And actually, as Cal did as well, our little behind the scenes magic, I've preloaded all of my tabs I plan on showing you today, because I'm sure I am not the only one who has experienced internet problems. All right, so here's your course information page. What we've done here is we've identified the key administrative aspects for your success in the program. So this is for your DMI Pro course, the one that we're going through today. But we have this for, as Cal said, our postgraduate diploma course, which is the expert course, the specialisms. We have a master's course here as well. So this is built into every aspect of those courses. But today we're just looking at the Pro. So let's scroll down. So this will tell you things like how long is the course. So as you can see, it's 30 hours. That's what we recommend. That's for your watching time. In addition to that, there's note taking. You can rewatch the videos as many times as you'd like. And then there's study time, because you have that exam at the end of it. Your course is 6 months long. So we've given you a date, sort of timeline here for how long you have to do your course. We divide it by every single month. So anyone that starts on the 1st of January, you have until the 17th of June to start and complete and pass your exam. So that's a 6-month period to do that. And I'm not going to go through the entire page because, as you can see, we've covered everything quite extensively. But what I would like to show is another aspect of our sort of kind of built-in academic support. You can see it here where we talk about an exam preparation area here, but this isn't only located in this small sentence on this page here. This is built in throughout your course. Right where Cal saw the practical exercises, there's a resource button that will show you your exam preparation. So let's click in and see what's going on here. We have multiple quizzes to help you prepare for your exam, and it's divided by each module here. So these are all your modules for the DMI Pro course. And here are all your practice quizzes. And if you think about this, a quiz is a great way to get instant feedback to see how you're doing in the course. So you might be thinking, I am just thriving in content marketing, so I'm going to check and do a quiz to see how I'm doing. You do your quiz and you get a couple questions wrong. It's great that you've caught this now rather than when you're in your exam room. So you can check your quiz, and thankfully, once you realize, okay, I need to brush up on a few areas, go back, watch a few more modules, and you can take up to 5 more quizzes there. So we have that for every single module there. And we scroll down here, we also have practical exercises. So Cal walked through one of these, but we have loads of them, and they're all available here. But these are also all in your course. We just wanted to have one little landing area for you. So let's go back to that course info page. So you've gone through your course info page, but you haven't found the information that you were looking for. Well, very lucky for you, you have an entire support page ready to go to. And you also have a support team. So you can find the support page at the top here, or let's scroll all the way down here, and you have a support team. So there's myself, and that's Daniel. He's our tutor, and there's lots of other people as well, but those are just 2 examples there. So we're on our support page. So again, you can click that at the top or the bottom of your page. And what we've prepared here is a knowledge base, a glossary, and then there's a contact page. This button here, your information, that's just your academic record, and that's just there for you for your own record. Okay, so the knowledge base. This is where we house all of our frequently asked questions. So we've organized them by category, so you can browse through to try to find whatever the question is that you're looking for. It's also word searchable, and also these are all sort of placed throughout the support hub. So as you can see, we have updates. So for example, a lot of our exams had to be postponed due to the COVID-19 lockdown, and we were on that right away. We allowed students to have extensions, no problem whatsoever. We have a very practical approach because everyone's working, everyone's now working from home, so we're here and we're very reasonable. So anyway, so that's where you can see some announcements. Let's pop into say you want to know a bit more about exam preparation. You can scroll through. What kind of questions can I expect on the exam? Where can I locate the exam test center? All these things are there. And again, if you just wanted word search, I've already done some exam preparation searching. Click in there. Oh, I didn't have this one preloaded. And here we go. We have how can I prepare for my exam? Our tutor Daniel has actually put together a great video that gives you tips about how to prepare. So that's one aspect. Now, the glossary, which I think is one of the best tools that we have in the support hub here. So we have hundreds of entries. We also have this, as Cal said, a PDF version of this in your module for you to go through. It's word searchable, you can click through, and it is so helpful. Because here's the thing, we have students coming from all aspects of their career path. Some people might be switching into digital, some people might be upskilling, whatever it is. On our postgraduate course, we have people who have been marketing directors for 20 years, and they're coming and they're trying to get sort of they're upskilling into digital, whatever it is. We have everyone. So everyone kind of needs to brush up a bit on their vocabulary, especially if an exam is involved. And you can go through here and have a little look through the glossary. Last thing, so you've gone through the glossary, you've done all your modules, you have gone to the knowledge base, but you just want to talk to someone. Well, you're very lucky because we have lots of eager people to help you on the other side of the screen. This is your support team. So you click up there, sorry, I'm scrolling down already, into the contact button there. Again, here's some more knowledge base entries. Scroll past them, and here you go. This is a support form. So you can click into where you want your message to go. You don't have to worry about entering in the right email address. We've done it for you, and you can just write in your message. Please help. Maybe be a bit more specific than that. Yeah, so that's our contact form. So you're probably wondering at this point, who is your support team? So as I said, you have your tutor, Daniel. He's a tutor for all of the DMI. He's our in-house expert. You also have an admin team, which includes your program manager. And if you're one of our corporate groups, we have a team ready to help you give, we liaise with the team lead, and we provide updates on how the team is doing. We talk about if there's any inactivity, any issues, any feedback you want to give us to help your experience. That's all there too for our corporate groups. It's a really great way, and it also kind of keeps your group together and towards your common goal. Okay, so that is our support form. We're just going through those again. The final thing that I want to talk about today is our community forum. So this is really exciting, and this is where you guys can reach out and network. You can provide peer support. So it's just at the top here, community. As you can see, we have almost 70,000 members across the world. That's 153 countries we have members in. And you can reach out to all of them. There's my photo actually, right there. So we have 4 aspects to it. We have our classroom, we have announcements, general, and show and tell. I'm going to go through these a little bit, but I know that we have lots of you wanting to ask questions, so I'll be quick. So let's start with the general. So if you post here, all of the almost 70,000 members can see your post. No pressure. As an insider scoop, we've found that the posts that work the best are short and sweet, and they're either asking for an opinion or they're sharing an opinion and asking for feedback. Whatever it is, they're pointed, they're active. Those are the best posts that we find. So when you join, now you know. So they can be little things like starting a conversation. Caroline, who you met at the beginning of the webinar, started one about how you're managing working and studying from home. You can also hear from previous students. And this is, again, where we're seeing that academic support that emanates from the students themselves. So this lovely student, Christian, did this really helpful post. So his post said, I just passed with 85%. Here's my experience. So he did the DMI Pro, which is, of course, Cal walked you through. And what he did is he goes through, and you can see this is quite extensive. He talks about how he prepared for the exam. So he says, I did my modules all in order. And as you saw, the modules appear, you can click in any order you want. So if you are very familiar with SEO and you want to look at content marketing, you can skip SEO and go there. You do need to come back to SEO, but do prioritize the content marketing if you're interested. Or you can just go in any order you would like. So Christian says that's what he did. He went in the right order, and then he prepared for the exam. He said it took him about 4 weeks to get through the entire course, and then to prepare for his exam. He talks about that. He also talks about how the course related to the exam, and whether he felt supported in the exam center itself, all these things. So here you go, you can have a look there. Now here's where it gets better. Say Christian said something here and you thought, ooh, I'd like a bit more information on how he did that, or what the exam was like, or whatever. Well, we've got you covered. There's a PM button here for private messaging, and you can contact Christian over the platform. Now, I'm not going to write him, but what you can do is it just sends it within the platform. So your privacy is completely protected. 70,000 people are not going to see your email address, but you're part of this community. So as members, you can message each other. Okay, that's the general. I'm going to jump into the show and tell area because I think this is really cool. So this is, again, another way to get members to speak to each other, but it's also just kind of see how the education that you've received in the DMI, what role that's playing maybe long-term in your career progression. So here we go. We're seeing Caroline again. She's our membership and community manager. So she started this post, which is just fantastic. She said, who are you? What do you do? And can you share an accomplishment with us? You could also share a project you're working on, why you've come to the DMI, what you're interested in. Just showcase you. So this is a great exercise in self-branding. So I think the best sort of example of this is, I already have this one loaded. Here we go. This one by a student named Gary. He runs a digital agency called Gleason Digital. Now, his whole path started when he came to the DMI in 2017 and did the DMI Pro course. Again, that's the one Cal went through. He then went on to do his undergrad degree in digital technology and design. He then went on to start a digital agency and mainly working in B2B. And he then went on to do a digital academy. So we've actually created a little bit of competition for ourselves here. And he's been quite successful. And he's actually coming back to the DMI next year to do his MSc degree in digital marketing. So we offer a master's degree paired with a university in the UK. So if anyone has any questions on that, we can go through that. But yeah, Gary's going to come back. And again, say there's something here that you're very interested in. So how does the DMI Pro relate to B2B? Well, why not message Gary? Okay, one final thing, and then we'll get to your Q&As, is I would like to talk about the classroom. So as I said, we have groups that start every single month. So that's your cohort, that's your group. So you're all going to be on a similar timeline. You all might be working through the modules at the same time. You all might be preparing for the exam around the same time. And this is a great place for you to have a conversation. Now, I'm not enrolled in a class, but your classroom will look very much like any type of general forum as well. So you click in and you can say, you know, I'm struggling with preparing for the exam in this way. Does anyone want to study together? I think if I was doing this course, I might want to reach out and see if someone wants to do a little study group over Zoom, Skype, whatever, Google Hangouts, not promoting anything in particular. But yeah, whatever way you want to reach out, because we're all working from home, and I think it's so helpful to have a study buddy. So you can connect there. We've had students in the past just network and introduce themselves and chat. And again, for our corporate groups, I think this is a really good space for everyone to kind of talk about how they're going and getting on in their course. And you can talk about maybe how the DMI Pro or the postgrad or whatever it is that you're doing, how that relates to, say, a project that you're working on at work, or sort of plans for the following year. Whatever it is, it's a really cool way to sort of connect your corporate group to your course. So that's that. Final thing before we go is I just want to point out that we do run events and we promote these through the community. So I'm just going to click here. And conveniently, in 2 weeks' time, we have a really cool webinar coming up, very kind of techie. It's all about the image recognition market. So this is run by Clark Boyd, who we've worked with in the past. He actually is an advisor to our thesis program. And he is running this live webinar on the 11th of June. So I really suggest everyone registers. And it will be run by the lovely Caroline, who actually I'm going to invite back. So we can do our Q&A.
Hi, Alex. I'm Cal.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! We're back. So thanks guys, that presentation was brilliant and I think gave everybody a good idea of what the learning experience with DMI is. And we have a phenomenal response here and also a huge volume of questions. So let's just crack straight into them and get these questions going.
Sorry, I didn't realize how dark my screen was there, everyone. I hope you can see.
You were beautifully lit. Alessandro, I'll ask Cal, please. Could you answer this one for Alessandro? Can you define what certified means?
Great question. Certification in this line of work means recognition. We work so closely with the industry itself, with the big tech companies or with the leading consultants, that anyone in this line of work, be it a massive multinational or be it a smaller firm, a digital agency, if they see Digital Marketing Institute on your CV, on your LinkedIn, or just that you have a qualification and you're maybe still an existing member, they know that you've trained to a certain level. They know they could trust you with a certain level of responsibility, or if they set you a task, they know that you've done enough training to be responsible with that budget, you know. In this case, certification is more about proving your skills, proving your competence, and for something that moves as quickly as digital marketing, if you've done a recent certification with the Digital Marketing Institute, you know that you have relevant skills too. You're not in any way archaic. That was a long answer, sorry.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Jack is asking, do you need to have any Photoshop or design skills to complete any of the tasks within the DMI Pro program?
No, not really. No, that would be more of a technical skill. We are the best training body in the world for the marketing side of online. No harm to have it on your CV if you want to apply to a job that involves it, but for what we teach, no, not at all.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
everything that we have on our platform, you don't need to download any additional technology, anything like that. Everything is prepared and ready for you.
Fantastic, thanks guys. Pamela is asking about the course duration. So yes, it's self-paced, but what does that actually mean in terms of deadlines and course expiry?
Good question, Pamela. So the course is 6 months, it's 24 weeks. And that is the entire duration. So we recommend around week 16 that you book your exam, because that way you still have enough time, say, should you not pass the exam, you can retake it. So that would be around week 16. It is self-paced, but the deadlines are strict, just to give you a bit of a kick to get that exam done. Sorry, I'm realizing that I am completely disappearing here.
In the dungeon.
I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yes, it's 6 months strict deadline for that.
On a week-to-week basis, we'd recommend someone does maybe somewhere between 4 and 5 hours of study a week. That could be a module a week, and then some of the practical exercises that we went through, or some of the additional reading. But if you did 4 or 5 hours a week, you'd be well on track to finish in about 12 weeks, then do a number of weeks revision before your exam, which we'd recommend you do in week 16. And doing your exam in week 16, as the Dr. Alex Tierney said, gives you enough time. Worst case scenario, you need to repeat it, but we've 88% pass rate at the first attempt, so don't worry too much about that. Given everything going on in the world, if you have more time at the moment, if you want to do 10 hours of study a week, if you want to do 15 hours of study a week, that's absolutely fine. Nobody's going to hold you back from it. It's more a question of the pace at which you're comfortable absorbing the material. So we'd recommend 4 or 5 hours. You have 24 weeks to spread that workload.
Thanks, guys. The next question I'm going to ask, because we've actually got a few of these coming in, is around the experience side of things. So we've got a few people who have recently become unemployed because of the impact of COVID-19. There's a few people that are interested in digital marketing as starting a career in it, as their first steps into their professional development, and a few people as well who are actually working in digital advertising as senior leadership roles, but looking to upskill in an area as well. So perhaps if you could talk us through kind of levels and experience and who's this course is best suited for.
Yeah, sure. And that me again. So the DMI Pro it's our most widely taken program. If you look at the demographics that come to it, it really is a complete mixed bag. A strong percentage might be a business owner who needs to be his own marketing department. It might be someone who has expressed an interest in digital marketing as a line of work. If you look at a global scale, it tends to pay quite well because you can earn good money for companies. People are rapidly moving towards digital still, even though they've been doing it for 5 years. There's still a lot of room to grow. So there are more jobs than there usually are digital marketeers to fill them. There's a good opportunity in that way. And a strong percentage might be people who are already in good marketing jobs and just don't feel they ever had formal training for digital marketing. You know, they might be a strategic manager for a big multinational and they feel that they need to get the ground level stuff. DMI Pro is very good for that. It's very good practically focused training for all channels. If you felt you were a bit above that, as you said, maybe more of a senior professional, someone who's been in marketing and has run quite a lot of digital exercises across their company, as I mentioned at the start, we do have a more advanced program, the DMI Expert or the postgraduate diploma. We'd find, if we look at research anyway of graduates, we'd find it puts someone maybe the top 5% of digital marketeers around the world. It is a much more advanced program. It's longer. We need more time to train you to that level, but it is a bigger investment and has a bigger payoff for your career too. You know, and it's a roughly 40 to 44 weeks to complete. We'd probably double the hours per week on a recommendation and say 6 to 8 hours. But again, if you give us more time, we can train you to a much higher level. As I said at the very start, the difference between the programs, it's not an FAQ, it's not a very short piece on the website. We have a huge team here dedicated to have a human conversation with you about what course is most beneficial to you and your level too. And we do quite proactively have that conversation as well.
Thanks, Cal. Alina is asking about the resources. Are they downloadable?
Yep, absolutely. They're all downloadable as PDFs. I think I went through a few of them, be it the slide decks for the program, be it the transcripts of what the lecturer is saying, all PDFs you can keep forever. I'm going to say the vast majority of the material through membership is downloadable as well. And you can keep that, that's yours.
Yeah, absolutely. All the ebooks and in particular, and a lot of the tools and templates. Pamela is asking about retaking quizzes and exams. Is that possible?
To retake the practice quizzes? Yes, certainly. You can do them as many times as you'd like. Practical exercises, yes, you can go through those. And then when it comes to retaking the exam, you have 3 attempts to do that. As Cal said, we have an 88% pass rate. It's very rare that students do need to retake the exam, but if they do, we're here to support. We have, again, our tutor can work through any type of issues you might be having, and we have the administration team ready to aid you in rebooking. But it's a very simple process, very user-friendly, and yeah, we have 3 attempts to do that.
Fantastic, thanks, Alex. Alessandro is asking, do you keep access to the course materials once you've completed the course, so post-certification? So perhaps one of you wouldn't mind taking that?
Yeah, we have, you have access to the DMI Pro course for the 6 months that you're in it. And then we suggest moving over to membership and renewing your membership access there. That's where you get up-to-date, as Cal kind of pointed out, you have up-to-date articles, up-to-date podcasts. Actually, I'm going to plug our podcast series that we're doing right now that we have on a monthly basis. Caroline can tell you a bit more about that. But that's all to say that that's all the up-to-date material is there. So once you're done your course, we would suggest sort of progressing onwards to the membership and the short courses.
As an institute, I suppose, we do have to have a cutoff point at some point. We found 24 weeks is really fair for the DMI Pro. As I said, most people complete the bulk of the content on top of a working job in about 12 weeks. We'll give you twice that so you have time to revise. And again, worst case scenario, repeat the exam too.
Thanks, Cal and Alex. Tara is asking a question about job applications and careers and basically how DMI supports that. So I suppose I'll take that one. From the members. So basically there's a career section in the My DMI platform, and we have a wide range of information, tools and templates. And aside from that, we've actually over the last 2 years, in conjunction with and in partnership with our GIAC partners, such as The Economist, completed white papers looking at the skills gap and where digital skills are going in the future for from 2020 and beyond. So you have access to the white papers to see exactly where digital is going and what the future landscape looks like. There's CV templates and resume builders up there, and also downloadable interview techniques as well. So that way you can actually practice. If you're, for example, somebody who's an email marketing specialist, we've actually got a dedicated interview guide there for that. So I suppose there's plenty of learning supports to help you get that next job and progress your career, and the community is there to support that as well. So any questions that you have or advice that you'd like, then the forum is there to actually get advice from people within your peer group as well. The next question.
Yeah, I'm sure Caroline is going to just really briefly back this up. The one thing that we are seeing more and more through membership is because of the acknowledgement of Digital Marketing Institute and the quality of the graduates, we do see people who are already members coming onto the forums and saying, look, I'm looking to hire someone for this, this, and this. And there's obviously engagement through that. And you can direct message someone. You don't need to actively post your CV on the forum. You can direct message them and say, look, I have those skills. I'm in your area.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's where that private messaging come in. And if you are there, you can actually flick through and you'll see, as Cal said, there's quite a few people there who are seeking out employees. There's actually somebody that was looking to recruit a whole team there recently. So there's plenty of opportunities to reach out and talk to people about your potential next move in terms of career. I think the next question, we've got a few who have obviously seen that we've a dual partnership going with the AMA and are asking questions around that. What does that partnership look like? And the certifications that come out from it, and how that actually works. So I suppose, Cal, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure, the easy ones. So yeah, I should say at the start, this is a really good partnership that we have, and it's been, I suppose, an ongoing conversation for maybe 2 or 3 years now at this point. The American Marketing Association, they've had a look at the training in digital marketing across North America, and they've probably agreed with us in that there's not really a physical, a bricks and mortar institution that is as good at teaching digital marketing as an online body. So they've tried lots of different things over the years. We've kind of ramped up the conversation this year, kind of the end of 2019 into 2020, and they have decided that the quality of training we offer through the DMI Pro, the course that I just went through, is going to be now the industry standard, if you like, for marketing. So they're happy to accredit the program. You are a recognized member of the American Marketing Association upon completion. You are also a certified digital marketing professional. So you have a designation after your name if you want to prove that you are digitally savvy. And that's available to, I believe, all US citizens and all US residents across the DMI Pro. So it's a really good way to, at no extra charge, at no extra workload, you add an extra certification from a huge, huge marketing body in the United States who say that, yes, this person is of a certain level of competence. We're happy to acknowledge them as a member. And as I said earlier, you can give this person certain responsibilities and we're happy to stand by their training.
Perfect, thanks, Cal. And of course, if anybody has any more questions on that, please don't hesitate to reach out to our teams. There's a chat box on our website, and also you can email membership at Digital Marketing Institute as well, and I've passed it on to the sales teams. Then if we move on to David, who's asking about our short courses and for a little bit information in regards to them. So just to say, our short courses are there to support your membership journey. They're not certified programs, so you don't get a certificate on completion of them. They're there to assist your professional learning and knowledge and skill sets. However, for those that have completed a certification with DMI and are engaged in our CPD, as Cal mentioned earlier, all those carry CPD credits and are automatically added so that it supports that side of your continuous professional development. Then if we Okay, let's go to Catherine. Again, it's a little bit about time frame and in terms of DMI Pro. So I suppose if you could actually wouldn't mind walking through that, because I think if we can keep it's the weeks to months and stuff like that there. So if we could keep the distinction one or the other.
Yes. Okay, we'll stick with weeks. So 24 weeks would be the duration. And I should add this, sorry, because this can get a bit confusing. When you purchase your course, so say today you purchase your course 22nd of May, your official start date will be the next month, or the next first of the month from when you purchase. So it'll be the 1st of June. But you get access right away. So you officially have 24 weeks, but if you buy now, you'll have, I don't know, June's next week, so you'll have 25 weeks. But that's all to say, it's an official 24-week program. And it's from the 1st of the month, usually to the 16th or 17th of whatever month you end. Does that clarify that in that aspect?
Yes. So I think like on a week-to-week basis of how it would become real for you. Like I've done the DMI Pro. It's probably one of the first KPIs I had in this job. I was maybe more regimented with it. I know some people are more sort of relaxed about it. They do 15 minutes here or 15 minutes there, but it was made very clear to me that the recommendation is maybe 4 hours of study a week. So I did 2 hours on a Tuesday evening and I did 2 hours on a Sunday morning. I'd either have training the other nights of the week, or I might have to pay attention to the better half on a Saturday or whatever it might be. But I knew that Tuesday evening and Sunday morning were free for me. So I was pretty good. Like I was doing 4 hours a week. I was on track to finish in maybe week 12, but I didn't even think about my exam until week 16 or 17, because I just knew that by the time I got to the end of module 10, I'd forgotten parts of module 1. So I went back, I did module 1 and module 2 again. There was no limitation on me to re-access that content, and I was able to build my own timetable into the week. If someone decides that their timetable is entirely at the weekends, or maybe they work the evenings, they do the mornings, that's obviously fine by us. If you feel you have more time each week and you want to double that to 8 hours a week or triple it to 12 hours a week, that's totally fine too. We're not strict to this. We train adults. We let you build your own timetable.
And I should add as well, actually, in terms of support and timeline, it's not as if you purchase the course and then 6 months later we say, okay, thank you, goodbye. We have a really, really sort of comprehensive communications support for you as well. So there's an email journey that will be attached to your purchasing of the course. And throughout your 24 weeks, you'll get reminders about, hey, this is where we recommend you should be in the course right now. Or we might say, hello, we noticed that you haven't logged in a few weeks. So that support is there and that reminder is there. In those emails, we'll also give you a direction to a bit of bonus content, the toolkits at your disposal, and all of that there. So you do have that support along the way that if you're thinking, God, 24 weeks is a long time to be on it and on myself, we're there to support you and say, this is where we recommend you should be at this time.
Perfect, thanks, Alex. So obviously we've a great mix of people on the webinar today. Obviously some of them are not just representing themselves, but are they're looking to look at the program for their team. So I just have a question in who's asking about a team size of between 10 or 12 10 to 12 people. What's the process in that case for signing up for a program, and is there any corporate rates or particular pricing packages for larger groups?
That's probably me again, is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the short answer is there are incentives towards enrolling a larger number of staff or employees or even students, if you like. We'd have that conversation and see exactly the scope and the training necessary. Usually we'd offer somewhere between 10, 15, maybe even 20% of a discount for a larger team, be it 10 people, be it 1,000 people. We've trained thousands and thousands from big multinationals in the past at a very good reception. You might have seen on the website at the moment, we're offering 30% off all the diploma programs to encourage home learning. If nothing else, you can do a very significant, very respected program from the safety of your own home with everything going on in the world through the Digital Marketing Institute. So we've never been more flexible about price. I would say to that person, best thing to do is to drop us an email or go onto our website and talk through the little chat box we have in the bottom, and we can put them in touch with the right person. We have a huge corporate training team in here from our previous experience of training thousands of people, as I said, so we're more than willing to have that conversation.
Since we're on pricing, maybe can you run through the DMI Pro as well, because we have a few questions around payment structures, finance options, spreadable payment schemes, anything like along those lines.
Yeah, sure, of course. I mentioned it earlier, we're being pretty flexible about pricing with COVID-19, and it's probably just good people are in different financial situations, and a lot of my friends back home would not be in a more of a lucrative position as they used to be, let's put it that way. So the DMI Pro is now, let's see how this goes. It's usually $1,955, it's €1,700, or it's £1,515 sterling. But we're knocking 30% off all of those costs. So it's down to $1,368. Here we go, €1,190 or £1,060 sterling. So it's a lot less expensive. We've knocked somewhere between $500–600 and £500 off the cost of the program. But you can also pay that in installments too. On top of being discounted, we don't ask for them up front. We can break it over the next couple of calendar months. For example, keep using sterling. That £1,060 sterling will be payable as 33% upon enrollment, so 33% in May, 33% in June, probably at the end of June, and then 33% at the end of July too. So we can spread it over a couple of months, couple of paychecks, even just an idea of how you can kind of fit it into your budget across the coming months.
Excellent, thanks, Cal. We'll test you again on that afterwards.
Yeah, please don't.
Because we've touched on the DMI expert, we do have a few people asking questions about that. So, for example, Ben from Singapore, he's considering the DMI expert course. So he's asking about the difference in terms of module content and structure between both programs. So maybe Alex.
Sure,
Yeah, I'm tagging out this one.
Yeah.
Hi, Ben. So I'm actually the program manager for the DMI expert. So, I'm going to make a bad joke. I could be an expert on the expert. Okay. So the DMI Pro is 30 hours of content. The DMI expert is 130 hours of content. That's just in terms of time that we've created for you on the course. We also have 2 assignments that you need to do for the DMI Pro. Each one is 5,000 words each. And what it is one aspect is looking into research on a company, and then the other is you actually create a marketing plan for a company that you've selected. We also have lots of sort of practical, what am I trying to say? Practical exercises, even though there isn't an exam, you're just solely assessed on the 2 assignments. There's tons of bonus content there. So you will have 130 hours sort of set time, and then there's lots of sort of extra assets there. What else? Cal, is there anything in terms of, we have, our modules.
I thought you were the expert.
So, I know. We have, sorry, there's too much. We have 6 sort of big streams that we look at. So there are things like content marketing. Then we look at things like we drill down on social media marketing, strategy and planning. We have a new modules. We just revised the PG in November 2019, and it's really cool, I must say. And we have lots of up-to-date content on things like we talked about Snapchat and how that comes into digital marketing, all these things like that. Anyway, I could go on forever and ever, but that's all to say there's tons of material there. And I think the best thing to do, as Cal said, is to work with, call into our training team. So you can email, as Caroline said, and they can find sort of what course might suit you best, and they can send on a brochure about our postgrad. But I can't recommend it enough. I just think it's a really great course. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
And even though, it's 52 weeks long, but that is 52 weeks of fun, excitement, and learning.
Thrilling time. The conversation that I usually have with someone who's considering the expert, it's not about starting point, it's not about where you feel you are right now, it's often about ambition in this line of work. And all of the content from the DMI Pro is in the DMI expert. You start at the same point for all the topics. The first 3 hours of social media training on the expert, for example, would be the social media training that we went through for the DMI Pro. But rather than it being limited to 3 hours of social media training, the expert will go for 30 hours. And if we just keep going for longer, we can train to a much higher level in social media marketing. So you might have the ambition of opening your own consultancy across this stuff. You might be a very functioning marketing consultant at the moment. You want to offer a very high level of service for digital marketing. The expert is fantastic for that. Or if you're going to be the big decision maker in a company, if you're sitting at the top of the table in a boardroom level meeting, that program trains you for all the nitty gritty, all the day-to-day, all the implementation stuff that we've gone through in the DMI Pro. Then it keeps going past that to the higher levels of these campaigns and what you should be reporting, and actually how you need to get to build a certain campaign to report it in the first place. But it also goes to really useful elective stuff like soft skills, managing a team. There's a really interesting module in the electives that I found of like getting your own way within the company. So if you are going to go into a boardroom level meeting, you're going to be dissected and quizzed on the strategy. That program trains you to be the most intelligent, most informed person in the room for digital marketing, so nobody can pick holes in it,
Yeah, and actually I should add, when Cal was talking about the soft skills, we have these 3 elective modules, which are really, really cool. And again, we just launched them in November 2019. We look at e-commerce, and then we look at sort of leadership soft skills and interpersonal skills. We also have various things like UX essentials. UX is becoming so crucial in the digital industry. We have UX, CX, It just goes on and on. A bit of graphic design there too. It's a really extensive course, and as Cal said, it'll train you for those higher level positions. We've seen so many of our students actually who finish the postgrad. This helps them in getting any type of promotion, new jobs. In that sense, it's quite a crucial kind of turning point in their career too. So very exciting.
Thanks, guys. I'm just going to ask you about international recognition of the certifications because we've got a few questions in around that there as well. So perhaps, Cal, I'll pick on you now.
Yeah, you give me all the easy ones, Caroline. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just testing you. Friday fails.
Cheers.
International certification.
All right, my headset's cutting out of me. Yeah, the international recognition of all our programs. First of all, digital marketing in itself is an international line of work. It's an international medium. There's people who work for the Digital Marketing Institute in our marketing team, and I've never met them in person in my life. You know, they work in the States, they work in Portugal in the sunnier climes. So in being a digital marketeer, and first and foremost, in being in this line of work, you do have an international stance to begin with. You know, your services are just as relevant in any time zone. But the Digital Marketing Institute then, mainly, I suppose, because the number of graduates we've had come through here, or even just the, I suppose, the diaspora, if you like, of our graduates, we are a hugely recognized international training body. As I mentioned earlier, we're the only digital marketing training body that the AMA stands by. So across all of North America, this would be the expected level of training for digital marketing, be it across Europe and all the multinationals you work with in places like Paris and Rome and the far reaches of Europe, be it the far reaches of Asia. We're the biggest training provider in Singapore, we're the biggest training provider in the United Kingdom. You know, it really doesn't matter where you go. We have such a strong international presence with the big companies, be it Google's representatives in Amsterdam or Facebook's offices in Sydney, that you can carry this piece of paper with you. You know, it really does start at the top with the big companies who've built the course and accredited the course, then it trickles down to the smaller agencies, and you can find them anywhere in the world. We do have academic stance. I'm sure Dr. Alex has gone through it. We're accredited in some similar ways to a college. You receive credits for the DMI Pro. You can carry that through your academic life, and the academic nature of it means that the certificate doesn't need to be renewed next year as well. A short answer.
Perfect. I think we'll move into the exam set of questions because there's quite a few here on it. So just, I suppose, a lot of questions around the exam structure and format, but also, you know, in light of COVID-19, how it's happening and what we're doing to support people being able to do their exams during this time as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I'll start with structure. It is 180 questions, and it's all multiple choice. So don't worry, you're not going to be writing essays going into your exam. All multiple choice, 180 questions, and it's 3 hours long. So the exams at present are all done in a testing center. So it's still at a computer, it's still digital. You just have to go to a different place. So that's that. But as you asked, and as I pointed out in the presentation there, COVID-19 lockdowns did postpone quite a lot of students writing their exams, and we've had to postpone them in that case, and we've extended them out. So, so I should say there's absolutely no sort of detriment to your course if you are extended out due to COVID. So if any of our current students happen to be watching, they can attest to this, that we've just extended your access to the course. So as Cal said, you might forget something because you started at the beginning of the course, so you can revise your program. You still have access to all the membership. And then once it's safe to take your exam, we're not going to force you to do anything that isn't safe. You can go into your testing center and take it there.
I suppose I'll take this question, give you guys a bit of a rest for a second. You can breathe. So somebody's asking about, you know, geographies, and do we have alumni in various different places? This person's coming from Sweden. So just, I suppose the guys have already commented on it, but we have people from all over the world in lots of different cities undertake our program and are part of our membership community. You are able to work within the community in both the classroom forum and in the general forum as well, in terms of reaching out and connecting with people in your various different geographies. so you won't be alone.
True, yeah.
And on geographies, we are getting a good few questions in terms of languages. So the languages that the programs are offered in and the exams as well. So I suppose, Alex, do you want to take that one?
Sure. So we have the courses delivered in English in terms of all of our videos. We did get it translated for Brazilian Portuguese. So we have that in terms of auditory translation. But as Cal pointed to with the closed captioning, we have, I'm not sure the exact number of languages, but we've translated the speaking into captions for that. So in terms of exams, Cal, do you know how many different exams we have?
As far as I'm aware, the exam is done through English, same as the course. The closed captioning is hugely beneficial. I hate to say it, but English is the most international language at this point, so that's the one we choose to teach through. Realistically, the training providing, I mean, the subject matter experts, the people that we have to teach the program, their first language is English, so it makes most sense to get them teaching in the language they're most comfortable in. We do have partner systems around the world. We have certification bodies or even just institutes around the world that provide a form of our training in a local test center, or even just in a classroom in a bricks and mortar institution. There's a list of them on the website. If you really did want to go and do it in your own language, I believe there are options around the world in a more traditional sense. And again, we'd have that conversation. You know, if someone wants to ring in or send us an email, we can point them in the right direction.
Perfect. There's a couple of questions on membership here, so I'll just answer them. We've got a question about the different levels of membership. So we have 3 different levels. So first of all, anybody can join and join as a free member, and with that you get restricted access to the content within the platform. So we have a membership library that's got a large volume of content in it, offering lots of different formats across the core topic areas. Some of those you will see the symbol power against, and that means that that is restricted to our subscription or course members. So that moves me nicely on to the next level, which is of course power. So power is the subscription based membership. So it's 150 euros a year or $175 for our renewing memberships who are recurring members. There are early bird offers, so that if you renew early, there are discounts available. And then we have our Power Plus members as well. So they're members who hold a certification and are in a continuous professional development scheme. So not only have they received a certification, but they're also maintaining that knowledge and skill on a regular basis. And we independently validate and rubber stamp that as an ongoing personal development as well. So that's the 3 tiers of membership that we would have. Alex, I'm just going to, there's a question coming about the Pearson VUE centres and just asking clarity around the locations on that. So maybe you just go through how somebody actually finds a centre in their area.
Oh yeah, yes. So we've made it very easy for you. There's a button that you can click that just says find my Pearson VUE test centre nearest me. You can do that on the DMI website, well, your My DMI course page. So that's, you get a login once you register with us. And then you can also do this on the Pearson VUE website. So they are across the world. So it's all done through Pearson VUE, and then there are test centers that are sort of rented out by Pearson VUE as well. So we have accessibility usually is not a problem at all. It's very, very well provided for across all of our countries that we have students in.
You have 6,000 of them around the world at this point.
Yeah, like it is. You will not, you have, it's riches of Pearson VUE centers. It won't be a problem.
Yeah. I'm just noticing we're about 16 minutes past and over the session here. There are still plenty of questions coming through, but just having a look through, I think we've covered the main themes in terms of actually questions today. So just to reassure everyone, this webinar is being recorded. So whenever we close the webinar now shortly, A survey will pop up very quickly. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's session so that we can tweak and improve for any further future virtual open days that we run. But we will also be sending out the recording of this webinar to you within an hour. So if you want to catch myself or Alex's or Cal's faces again and hear our content, you will be able to do it on repeat and as often as you want. The guys here as well, we've captured all these questions, so if we haven't covered anything, the guys will be going through the question bank and reaching out to make sure that we've addressed that question with you on an individual lesson, on an individual section. But just to remind you again that we do have the web chat, and we also have you can contact us through our website, so that if you have any questions or want to download a brochure on any of the programs that we've mentioned today, be it the pro, the expert, or any of the specialisms, that they're all available to you. So I suppose I'll just go to close the webinar by thanking Dr. Alex and Cal for their time today. It's been a great tour of the session and lots of information and good guidance as usual. So thank you very much for attending. It's been wonderful having you all, and wish you a very good day or evening. Thank you now.